We're about a month or less out from college classes starting, and for some students, it may be the first time they're considering getting a credit card. That can quickly get tricky, though, with all the options out there. So to help get you started, we have financial advisor Ayo Idowu in studio. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. It's good to be back.
Oh my gosh, this brings back so many memories of going to college. I'm like, there's so many options. I need freedom, but then
It feels
it's
like we were just there yesterday, right?
I know, but then like you need strong money habits too. I guess we can get responsible.
Oh, for sure. I just remember in college, October and February were like the two best months, right? 'Cause
Right.
that's when all the scholarship refunds came in. That's when all the like the financial aid came in, and you just have this big, large lump sum of money you had to deal with. And
Yeah.
I feel like when we're talking to parents and giving their kids kind of advice, the big thing is just making sure that you know those lump sums are supposed to stretch out, right?
Exactly.
First and foremost, I always tell people like, hey, you know, it's October. You have to pay rent here until February when the next check comes out. If I'm you, I just try to make sure I get those 4 or 5 months of rent in just like a completely different account. Don't ever touch it. Make sure it's always there. I mean, it's already tough dealing with classes and finals. The last thing you want to deal with is trying to figure out how to rustle up some rent money.
I know. You definitely need to go in with like a good mindset to
Yeah.
not just think about, classes, freedom, but also being smart with money. So let's talk about credit cards. I'm sure
Yes.
people will get their first credit card. What are the do's and don'ts of that, tips for students and parents?
Yeah, I feel like when we were in school, credit cards were always something parents would give a kid for like emergency purposes, and now credit cards have just become part of our society, right? I know when I speak to kids and, I ask them to raise their hand if they have a bank card, the kids all have credit cards at this age, even like maybe multiple credit cards. I feel like the biggest do and don't I talk about with credit cards is just make sure you have an income, right? I think it's tough. Obviously, everyone wants to have a credit card, but when paying those off and making sure you're keeping your credit score in check, credit cards are a great way to like practice building your credit score, but it's also a great way to ruin it early if you don't have like a regular income to pay off those purchases.
Absolutely. And with parents too watching, what's any good tips for them? I know they can kind of maybe co-sign for some things.
Yeah, I would say, so a lot of parents that do have credit cards and don't necessarily trust their kid with a credit card, or maybe don't yet trust their kids to have a credit card, you can use your child as an authorized user on your card. Basically, if you're a responsible user of your credit card, who's ever on that card, they can increase their credit score. And obviously, if they are swiping that card, let's say that can be something you as a parent pay for them. But I don't know if we're trying to teach our kids a little bit better money habits, maybe just having them on there can boost it up until they get to college. That way it can be their first time having some credit history on their account.
Absolutely. Definitely some good tips for folks watching. Thank you so much for being here with all of these tips. A lot of those tips I know are for the responsible kiddos out there,
Yeah.
but we'll have more information and more Money Mondays that you can watch on care11.com/new. We'll be right back.